Oh, we're live.
We are?
Yep.
Okay, so here's that joke. Now I've
You're
got
welcome. Now I can leave.
Now I can leave.
Just leave your computer on.
Yeah. We were
What's
just.
the joke, Majid?
We were
One day
yakking
in the
away.
future, the current president of the United States, has a heart attack and dies. He immediately goes to hell where the devil is waiting for him. Devil says, I don't know what to do here. Devil says, you're on my list, but I have no room for you. I've got 3 folks here who weren't quite as bad as you. You can take one of their places. So he opens the first door, and it was Richard Nixon. And he said, nah, I'm not interested in that one. Then he went into another room, and it was Ronald Reagan, who is with a sledgehammer and a room full of rocks. And he goes, nah, this is not a good one. Then he opened the third door, and he saw Bill Clinton lying on his bed, spread-eagled, with Monica Lewinsky. So Donald goes, I can do this one. Devil smiled. Okay, Monica, you're free to go.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da!
Yeah, I've heard that one a few times.
Mm. Yeah, I got to unveil some of my really, really old jokes to my wife recently, like why the Kennedys allowed Maria Shriver to marry Arnold Schwarzenegger. They wanted to breed bulletproof Kennedys. Yeah,
I like it. That's good.
Get in the chopper.
Oh, guys, I haven't been here for so long. I don't know what to do anymore.
Well, you're back. So
No,
Guess
this
who's
is good.
back? Back again. Moss is back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back?
You
Guess
want my
who's
back? I could give you my back. This is my front.
be careful who you say that to, Moss.
I'm fronting as good as I can, man. Yeah.
So where am you these days then? Since you look like you're in a closet.
I am not in a closet. It is a full-size bedroom, actually. But I guess I'm facing I just did the whole round the room with the camera. Were you not here?
Nope.
They'll have to rewind later.
Yeah, this is bedroom number 2 at our new place. Not a single bedroom has been completely put together. This one's as good as any of them, I guess. My wife's computer and my computer are both in here instead of in the past. I slept in the living room, which I still do, and my wife's computer was in her bedroom.
See, it's weird, Majid. Everything seems to be working better in this room. We're not getting any lag like we were over on OTC.
It's obviously Leo's fault, isn't it?
Obviously.
You can always blame Leo.
I mean, that's who I blame.
Hey,
I mean, using the Sherlock Holmes, thing of deduction. What's the one difference between here and the other room?
Hey, I've got more to blame Leo for than most of you. I'm still doing Full Circle Weekly News.
Was that his thing at one time?
That was his thing, and he was
Really?
doing abysmally. He would release a weekly news whenever he damn well felt like it. It was more like monthly, and I kept offering to help, and finally he just gave me the whole thing.
Well,
I've been doing it almost 5 years now. April is 5 years.
I don't remember even hearing of it until I came on mintCast, and then that became my number one source because you just rattle all that shit off so fast.
I've listened to it for years. Yeah,
I love it.
Religiously. Yep.
Actually, originally it was Ronnie's own thing. They started out as a podcast, and then they changed it to a news podcast. And Ronnie only did a few episodes, and then he tried to get someone else to do it, and that didn't work out. Then he got Leo, and Leo kind of worked out because it sometimes came out, but Leo wasn't even using their sources. My podcast uses all the sources. If you hear it on my show, you'll see it in the magazine.
I don't know why we don't use that as a source more often. We never seem to do it.
You changed the duration at some point, right?
Yep, I told Ronnie there was no way I could get it all in 10 minutes, and he says, okay, we'll try for 15. And I had to get him to say that a couple times before I could do it. But 15 is a perfect size for this show.
Yeah.
You can do between 12 and 16 articles, depending on how long they are. If I need to chop them up more, I chop them up more. That's the advantage of having the magazine, because you can either look up in the show notes or in the magazine to find out where the whole article came from.
talking?
But Leo was basically just doing a headline-only show. And when I cut my article, the first thing I cut is a statement of how long it took them to come up with the new version. Because that's really not necessary. I mean, in some cases, if it's been 10 years since the last version, yeah, that's significant. But if it's been 6 months, well, that's their standard process. I also cut the size of the distro. I don't need to be giving all the megabytes and gigabytes of each various desktop on each various distro, because that just takes too much time. So I cut out the inconsequential things and I report the rest of the article. And if you want to know that stuff, hey, there's links in the show notes.
And before you ask, I already did. He does not speed up the audio.
We always mention all of your things in the show notes. Get Zyviller at host us the social.
No. I mean some of the news. We never use the news from that show. We get it from, I don't know, 9.
Our own place. Yeah.
You guys just don't appreciate me.
Well, you've got to have your own USP, haven't you?
They're asking you to link that show in the YouTube comments, Moss.
Oh, FullCircleMagazine.com will get you there.
Yeah, there you go. If you're wanting an RSS link, let's see.
Then go away and come back when it's not 2005.
Paste the whole RSS link.
We are on all the podcasters, RSS, Spotify, Apple Tunes. Just look for Full Circle Weekly News.
Oh, what? That was such a boomer way of saying it. Apple Tunes.
Apple Tunes.
Their Apple thing. Yeah, with the iPod and all that.
We're on one of them there cellularized telephones.
I live in Eastern Tennessee. I can get away with that.
Oh, my God.
You're
right, though.
OJ wanted to move to Eastern Tennessee because he heard we all had the same DNA.
Hey, there's some country.
I like that.
There's some country ass folks living out there. I ain't gonna lie.
Bill, do you know the White Pine truck stop?
The White Pine truck stop.
It's on I-81 exit 4.
In Tennessee?
In Tennessee, yeah.
That's down there in the hills. Yeah.
Well, if you go to the next exit, that's exit 8, which is US 25, which goes, if you aren't carrying hazardous materials, you can take that all the way into Kentucky.
That's my scale dodging route right there, 25.
Well, I live about a half mile off US 25, is 25E, I believe.
Huh. I never go through there anymore. I don't know. We've got several customers down that way. Lately, if I was going to Georgia, I'll go all the way down into Alabama and across just to avoid dealing with
I-75.
Atlanta. Because that's a nightmare.
Yes, we were there in January. If the con were not so wonderful and so much fun, we would not go there, because just getting there is a bigger headache than anything in my life.
Well, we got a customer that's about 40 miles west of it on 20, and it's faster to go all the way down to Birmingham and then across 20 than it is to go straight down and then out of town. Just because, I mean, that traffic for that area starts at around Knoxville, and you really don't get out of it at all. It stretches all the way down through.
Who's Mr. Blank Screen at the bottom?
Introvert Tim, living up to his name.
Oh, I forgot. I can actually look at the mintCast public list here. Oh boy.
Yes. Hi everyone.
See, I'm so out of touch, guys.
Hey Tim, how's it going?
Hey man.
It's going good.
You mean somebody actually took us up on everybody is invited?
Join us on the Roundtable every other week. Please, we really need somebody interesting.
I started listening to y'all about a year ago, and every show you guys talk about the Roundtable, and I was like, you know what? I'll take you guys up on that.
Yeah. I don't think we do a good enough job of making everybody understand that it's completely wide open to the public. We actually have 2 voice channels on our Discord, and one of them is only accessible to us, and then the other one, which is what you're in now, is accessible to
mintCast
anybody
public.
that's a member of the server. And it would be cool to get 20 or 30 people lined up on this thing, because it doesn't.
Joe and I are the old timers here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've
we
been around.
started in
a long time.
October of 2018.
Starting to look like the Brady Bunch on here.
But even that is only about halfway back in terms of how long mintCast
Yep,
has been around.
they started in November 2008.
Yeah, so
Bloody hell, man.
that pretty much beats most of them as far as I'm concerned.
There is one that is older, and that is
Tilts.
yeah, okay. I'm having various things going on in my brain, and they're not working. I was
The Linux
thinking,
Link Tech Show is older.
Where's that at on YouTube?
I don't think it is on YouTube. It's RSS.
Oh,
Well, if it's not on YouTube, it can't be real. Just as if
Oh,
you know.
yeah,
If
is that what it is?
but it's
yeah,
like
just like if ChatGPT doesn't say it, it must not be true.
no!
It's
If you're
like
not
Full-
on Apple
Full Circle
Podcasts,
Magazine.
it doesn't exist.
Full
That's-
Circle Magazine
Pretty
came
sure
out
it
in
is.
04, which
probably
came out
is.
right at the time that Ubuntu came out. Ronnie really had his head in the game early on Full Circle Magazine, but PC Linux OS Magazine is 1 month older.
Oh, we
I
didn't
don't-
make it onto YouTube on this show until, what, 5 years ago?
Oh, is that right? Well, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
we weren't doing YouTube at all.
Not when we first... Not in 2018, we weren't.
Heck, we were still on the Mumble Room at
Yeah, Mumble server. What's it? Rob's Mumble server, isn't it?
Oh,
No, it wasn't
I've
Rob's
had
Mumble.
I've had a
no, it wasn't
Mumble.
Rob's Mumble server. We started out on HPR's Mumble server. Hacker Public Radio was our initial
Yeah,
host.
the same one that Tilts uses.
We've got one for this show that's been running for years, and I don't think anybody's ever used it.
I don't
never
think
logged into
anybody
it.
even knew about it.
Yeah, it's been up and running, and it's
You
public
forgot
and
to tell us.
it's public and searchable. So it's got a URL and everything. But I set that up back when we were trying to figure out what we were going to do about. I don't remember the problem we were having, but we were looking to get away from video or something, or I was, and that idea crashed and burned. So I was looking at using Mumble instead, but I don't know. Everybody likes looking at each other, I guess, so we kept up.
We can always switch to Jitsi.
With these ugly mugs, we like looking at each other.
Yeah.
Jim brought
Beggars
up a
can't
thing
be
about-
choosers, Moss. Beggars can't be choosers.
Jim, you were saying
Do you see me begging?
about Jitsi. The thing about Jitsi is it automatically like zooms in on people's faces, Matt.
Yeah, I dislike Jitsi. I go on Matt from the Linux Cast. He uses Jitsi for his twice a month, logcast as he calls it, and it shrinks people like dynamically. Instead of having how we have like 8, somebody said it's a Brady Bunch effect here, sort of, but all our windows are 16 by 9. They're all the same size. Jitsi, they constantly shift and get cropped.
So
Depending
it
on
really
who's talking.
annoys me. I don't like it.
But you can actually fix that in Jitsi. The owner of the server, the person that's logged in as admin, has to go in and set it to follow him, and then he has to set it to tiled, and then it stays tiled.
Okay.
and there you have even more if you was to self-host it, which I probably would because it's me.
Because of your bill.
Yeah.
I remember, Eric, you said you'd use Jitsi quite a bit. Am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I like it. It's I use it with like customers because it's so much easier than like downloading and installing a bunch of stuff. I just
that's the other
go
thing.
there, tell them to go there, and
works
it's
fine
a
through
very
browser.
convenient. Yeah, exactly.
So,
It's
have
just,
we completely soured on Video Ninja?
Yes.
I've still been using it with 3 Fat Truckers all this time, and it is just brilliant
Yeah,
every single
but
time.
that's because the people that you work with don't like new things.
That's
Or
because
tinker.
all of you guys
Or a
can't
bunch
seem
of
to
Linux
get it to
nerds.
work. I don't know. And the guy that, and we had him on our show, that he said the people that have the most trouble with Video Ninja are the nerds, because they're always the ones that got some kind of weird mitigation in place on their network or something like that, And yeah, that's true.
He's not wrong.
I mean,
But we have to take a minute here and say, hey, Tim, what do you do and what brings you here?
Well, I'm a programmer by day. I switched to Linux, Mint specifically, about 6 months ago.
I was going to make that joke.
I used Linux many years ago at the university. It was Ubuntu 12.04.
Oh my.
And I really had
the
a good
first LTS.
Yeah, it was good. This was back prior to Unity, and I really enjoyed it. So I ended up, when I found out that my laptop just missed the threshold for the Windows 11 update, I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't like how Windows 11 is going. I had really bad experiences with it at my job. So here I am.
Yay!
And so what are you using now?
Mint 22.3
Good
cinnamon.
answer.
Flipping mint fascist that we have here.
Cinnamon desktop or
cinnamon? Yeah, it just works.
Again, the right answer.
Guys.
Oh no, we're not going to get into another Bodhi.
I hope you're wearing pants. Okay. What's that?
I'm assuming it's Bodhi.
Oh yeah,
it's Bodhi.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a 5.1 desktop, but I'm in 7.
He's consistent.
Yeah, I mean it works. So
it does.
Bodhi is the best thing that's happened to me. I have had problems with Mint since 22 started, and I have had none of those problems with Bodhi. I still have the problems I have with Bodhi, but I'm used to what they are by now.
That's the thing.
Tim, you're not a vibe coder, are you? You're not a vibe coder, are you?
Tim?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
He's sitting there. I hope to God he's not talking to me.
No.
Good.
I was talking to Moss there for a second.
No. I am. The only thing I use AI for is my imaginary girlfriends.
And you've still got more of them.
We need to work on your
How's the wife feel about that?
She's jealous.
Damn right I am.
I figured she'd like your girlfriends too.
No, she doesn't. Anyhow.
Yeah, moving swiftly
Mum's the word. Mum.
Yeah, moving swiftly on. So Tim, what made you come on? Is it because you wanted to talk to us and say, look, you're a bunch of idiots and I know a lot better, which is a valid thing to say?
That's what brought Eric
fairly common.
But yeah. I mean, is it because I sound remarkably like Peppa Pig's dad, apparently, according to Bill's daughter?
That's funny. I like that.
It's funny because when I kept hearing about the Roundtable, I'm like, I could do that. I could join. I've submitted. I have contributed some of my development time to Linux, Mint, to Cinnamon, and some of the other Mint projects here and there. It's just, if I'm going to use the desktop and I've got the skill set to fix a bug that's bugging me or add a feature that's missing, might as well. And I figured, I'm already.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, exactly. What could possibly go wrong?
We ain't got time for that.
So I ended up being like, you know what? Let's take another step and in with you guys and chat. A lot of the things I found, I'm like, I know some things, just a few.
Well,
things.
we are happy to have you.
Oh
yeah, especially if you know some things, because that'll make one of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody
It's
that's
actually
actually
nice to
contributed.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have all different levels of experience. Frankly, I mean, I feel like when I talk to an old head, it's just like we complain about the same things, we say the same things. It's like having anyone's else's opinion, or the way they use it. I don't know. I think that's what.
This is Eric's nice way of
check,
saying,
check.
I like speaking
Audio.
to stupid Majid. That's basically what he's trying to say. And I am happy to take that because I just want the human connection, and I'll take it wherever I get it.
Majid, you're the only one here that has a doctorate from a registered institution.
That is true.
I've been to a registered institution, but
I've been to a few of them myself. I have a few doctorates, but they're not accredited by any sense.
Yeah, there are some institutions here which are His Majesty's pleasure, which might be holding his brother at the minute.
No, and they're right. I joined because I was listening to mintCast, and I got tired of yelling at the radio in my car while I was listening. And one time, somebody said something that was so egregious, and it was probably Bill.
Absolutely.
That I just was like,
I love the way he said that.
No, because I've heard him tell this before. I know it was me.
Okay, go on.
And I was just like, I have got to go on there and say something because it's driving me crazy.
You remember what it was?
It's been years.
Didn't we get you on distro hoppers before you joined mintCast?
I don't.
Oh, I actually participated in actually recording the podcast on distro hoppers before I was doing mintCast, but I was listening to mintCast. Well, that's how I started with you guys too, because you and Dale were saying something, and it wasn't that I was so annoyed. It was just that you were like half correct about something, and it was like the perfectionist in me was like, no.
I'd love to know.
You bet in a minute, dear.
I've got to know the minute you find out what I said. I wish. Okay, so here's what you got to do, Eric. You got to go back all the way. I think my first episode was episode 377 is when I came on, and you got to start watching, find out what I said, see what.
The great are sending you to sleep. Trust me.
Oh man!
No, I actually want to do that.
So much since then.
I did that with I did that with the Resington podcast where I went back to the beginning. I did it with what are the Irish guys? Crap, I can't remember.
Linux Lads.
Linux Lads, yeah, I did that with Linux Lads too, where I went back to their first one and listen. I like to see the progression, especially of people who are non-podcasters, and like see how they bring in like I got a new microphone, or I got this or that, and like it ends up becoming a very polished production. And yeah, so I've done that before, so maybe I will do that with mintCast. Though there's a lot more that's out there. I'd actually like to go back and hear some of the like early stuff, but it's not always so much fun because if it's topical enough, it's like completely irrelevant to modern, to anything that would matter today, especially news-based.
I still remember the first mintCast episode I ever listened to. I even remember where I was. Yeah, it was.
You have a better memory than me.
Scott. It was Scott and Rob. They were interviewing a guy. I wanted to say his name was Terry Sparks, but it was something along those lines. He had a foundation called Reglu, and the reason I remember it was a medical reason because this was a guy who had previous cancer and had a laryngectomy, so he didn't have an upper airway. He used to talk from a hole in the top of his chest. That's how he used to make. And so my medical thing, picked up on that. Oh, this is a guy who post laryngectomy. Oh, he must have a voice tube. Oh, he must be doing this. And then I remember listening to the episode, and the guy was talking about how he was repurposing old devices and handing them out to poor people. Kind of digital. Outreach, as it were. I think it was in Texas. I might be wrong. And I just remember that, as I said, and I also remember the device I listened to it at the time because it was my Samsung Galaxy S3, the first device which I used as an iPod or a MP3 player, and first time I got proper headphones and stuff like that. And I know it's weird, these one or two things that you remember, Other things you don't, but for some reason that is and I still remember where I was as well. I was this is when I used to smoke. I was stand in my back garden, having a smoke. That's what I was doing because I wasn't allowed to smoke in the house. yes, Q joke about doctor smoking, blah blah blah. Anyway, so yeah, I remember that. I don't know if anybody else remembers that episode. I mean, it is a bit of a random one. I do agree.
I wasn't
but
listening.
it is
to it.
sometimes
Not listening to it back then.
But I still, but I do remember. Yeah, August 2012, September 2012, something like that.
I'm the weirdo who showed up because he found out that somebody wanted someone to do the podcast. I had never listened to the mintCast before I was on the show. Yes.
Wow.
Same here. I'd never listened to mintCast. I was an avid podcast listener back then, and I still had never listened to mintCast, but they said they needed a host, and I constantly used Mint, and I was on 2 other podcasts. So
I don't remember if it was you
Hey,
guys
guys.
that said it, but I heard about it on some show, and I thought, oh man, it'd be so cool to talk about Linux. And then I sent an email, and then Joe said join the. I was genuinely giddy over the opportunity.
Starstruck, man. I remember that as well.
Because this is my. You guys, I know I've said it before, but you guys are the celebrities in my life. I have absolutely no interest in meeting somebody like Tom Cruise or Jessica Alba or somebody like that. But if I could go,
I'm happy to meet Jessica Alba. No problem whatsoever there.
I'm better off.
Or Scarlett
I'll meet her.
Johansson. No problem. Beyonce. I'm up there. No problem.
But no, it's true. And the podcast and then talking about things like this is the celebrity life. So I mean, and then to be a part of it, holy shit! I didn't even.
Yeah, I remember being really starstruck when I came on Roundtable for the first time. And again, it's really strange and weird. But hey, it's people you've been listening to without needing a restraining order for years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same thing when I first saw Popey. When I first saw Popey in an interview, and I'm like, that's what he looks like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Does that? I mean that. Okay, so that voice, very distinct voice.
Yeah.
When you saw the face for the first time, did you think, yeah, okay, or did you think, oh wow, no, that doesn't?
No, I thought, okay.
Then you got to talk to him.
He's been on the show twice, and I've missed both of those episodes.
Yeah.
And I've interviewed him 3 times. So,
Did we have
guys? I did want to mention I posted that video I told you about. Bill Gates furious as Lenovo ditches Windows for Linux. It's on mintCast public Discord right now.
I will take a look at it later.
So, Tim,
Bill Gates has got better things to worry about right now.
I was going to say, Tim, do you listen to loads of Linux podcasts apart from mintCast?
mintCast is really my first podcast that I started listening to, and
wow,
I look forward to it. I mean, Bill, for getting it taken care of. I mean, I've noticed you've gotten really fast at turning it around. Like, you'd have the show on Sunday, and then it'd be up on Spotify by Monday.
That's because of Craig.
Not the last 2 episodes, but Well, because we started using a bot on Discord to do the recording, and that bot takes about almost an hour of work out of the whole process for me. So.
No. Back in the day, it used to be a real process to get everybody's audio put together and lined up and cleaned up.
We had to have external people doing our audio processing and getting them to have the time.
Yeah, and we were lucky to get it out by Wednesday.
So, I'm curious, does Tim listen to the audio, not watch the video?
I do audio only for the most part.
Yeah,
wow,
I mean,
look at that, Jim.
What
do you think of that, Jim? What do you got to say about that, Jim?
I don't listen. I don't watch the video of any of my podcasts ever.
This ain't looking good for you, Jim.
Like, how am I supposed to watch a podcast on the drive to work?
What am I missing?
Well, there's an answer for that. The answer is you listen in your car only to podcasts that do not have a video component. Audio only podcasts, you save those while you're in motion, and all the video podcasts, at least in my opinion, I have to watch it. I don't care if it's just a guy sitting at a desk. I need to see the video. That's the way I feel.
I think it's necessary to have both. I think it always will be, because you have audiences that need both. I mean, to be serious about it, I guess. And there are shows like Late Night Linux is on YouTube, but you don't actually see them.
Yeah,
you've got a waveform up there.
He's very
They're
surprisingly Luddite about the whole thing. I wonder
he
why.
hates the idea of it. I don't even know
I
if they
need an
own
editor, Moss.
webcams.
You
What's
need
that?
an editor?
I need an editor.
An editor. Yeah, me too.
What do you need an editor for?
Articles.
I can do that.
I know.
AI can do it for you.
Hey, just this month I started being a proofreader on Full Circle Magazine for the first time.
Oh, Hauser, you want an interesting statistic?
Let's have it.
You have now done the same number of shows of mintCast as Leo Chavez.
No effing way.
Yep. 80.
Bill, you just took over. This is your baby now.
Yeah.
Oh, what's
Moss has
my count?
beaten, Moss has
You
beaten
guys must have
James.
saw me coming. Oh, look at this guy. Look how excited he is.
Nobody will ever catch Rob.
I'm pretty sure I got like another decade before I even get close to the next person.
I wonder why. I mean,
no. So Scott did 206, but Joe, you're on 177.
That's pretty close.
I'll
G.
take over Scott.
Yeah, and Rob's on 245.
What am I at now?
You're
I'm
125. 125.
125.
I'm on 53. Frigging hell.
Doesn't matter when you joined. You're still part of the big picture. Yeah.
Now,
who have I
consider
beaten?
the huge number of Linux podcasts that have not even lasted 50 episodes.
Yeah, I've beaten Rothgar, Tony Watts, Norbert, Bo, all the Joshes.
We remember
all the Joshes. And then there's a couple of people who just did one or two. Did we have a woman on here? Sarah?
Yeah, that was early.
Heck, yeah.
I've tried to get women on here. Right now, the only woman superstar in podcasting already has two big podcasts and just became a major part of. She does LWDW and she does the one that ditched Michael. What's his name?
Did you guys hear that K5TUX died? Russ from what is it? Linux in the Ham Shack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was several weeks ago now.
Linux in the Ham Shack. There's one I haven't heard in years.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Well, they don't longer make podcasts, right? Isn't it a defunct podcast now?
I don't think so. I thought they were still going. I haven't checked recently.
Well, I haven't heard anything in years about that one. Let's have a quick look, shall we?
Now, on a video stream, a man will go onto his computer and search the internet.
What percentage of people listen to the podcast as opposed to watch on YouTube, do you think?
I have no idea, but I know when I was following the numbers on, archive.org, we were averaging somewhere around 3,500 downloads.
Yeah. We've had episodes over 12,000, but normally 6,000 is a high, and 32 to 3,500 was the average back then.
Average.
Bloody hell, that's something, man.
Yeah, that's.
I'd say easily 10 to 1, right? I mean, if not more.
So way more audio than video.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, way
I would
more.
assume.
That's interesting.
Look, if you had a chance to listen to me or to look at me, would you rather listen to me or look at me?
Oh boy, that's one of them questions. Like, all right, you want to be?
I guess
you want to be drowned to death, or do you be hung by a coat hanger?
I'm dying here, guys.
Neither.
Well, listen, I understand the desire to see someone's face while they're speaking. It's a very human thing to want to see their expression, and you communicate so much with the micro expressions and the, when you're looking, at a camera. So it's not the same as being in person with someone. I don't think it's a little artificial, and you don't have the same warmth usually.
I don't have time to watch all the
podcasts. No, and that's the counter argument is I only really listen to podcasts either in the morning when I'm getting ready or in the car on the way. And that's, any other time, because I need to listen. That's my problem. I need to be able to like focus and listen to what I'm doing. When people say they have something on in the background, I don't even bother listening if I can't pay attention, because what's the point?
Yeah,
You
I
know?
agree with that.
I'm the opposite actually. I always need to have something on, which I am listening to, but at a kind of, I don't know, 3/4 attention rather than full attention.
Right.
Linux
And
and the
I
and
think
I've
that's
often
the part.
and I've often wondered why I need that. I often wondered why I need that, because I can. So, like for example, the other day I got an email. I had to sort out something for some resident doctors, and the first thing I did, apart from putting my computer back on, put my headphones in and started listening to something, because for some reason I needed to have that background noise while I
Yep.
made up this spreadsheet or something. And I'm not entirely sure. As I said, I'm not even sure myself why I do. But I do seem to, and it's quite consistent. I've had that in
Well,
some way, shape, or form since I was a teenager.
so probably for you, and this is my guess, is that having that direct sound means that it's less distracting than if something were to make a sound otherwise. Right? Like you already have your attention sort of saturated, if you will. And if you had, that means there's nothing that can interrupt you. You know what I mean? Because you're already sort of,
So the music's kind of
So-
like drowning out any distractions, kind of thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
What's
It's like
the answer,
white
Bill?
noise almost.
What's the
Linux
answer,
and the
Bill?
Ham Shack is still very much a thing. It's their last episode was December 18th, and they were talking about looking forward to the new year. But there's
Russ passed, and
maybe that is.
Maybe that killed the podcast.
There's nothing. They still have a working website. It's fairly up to date, but.
All right, guys. Well, it's been fun, and I am enjoying all this, but I gotta go.
You gonna be back on the show, Moss?
I'm out of
or-
Diet Pepsi.
yes. Are you going to be on the Wandering show next week?
No.
No. Okay.
My life is still way too big of a turmoil.
Join on Saturdays when you can. We will.
I will, and I
Love to have
still
you.
have a target of March or April of being back on the show. I have
Well,
not changed that target, but it might float in the future. Tim, you didn't answer the big question. Do you have a beard?
No, not right now.
All right, we're in the minority, guys.
Yeah, Moss, it was good to have you. I've been noticing you have been on the show, so it was nice to still see you around.
I told you,
Well,
Moss. They love you.
I had a whole life change happen where everything went to hell, and still in the process of going to hell. For instance, I have been only surviving because my mother died and left me a huge inheritance. It wasn't that huge, and it dies in June. June is my last
All right,
payment.
guys, I've got to get going. I'm getting calls, so I've got to
Okay.
get going.
Take
Actually,
it
nice to see you,
All right.
Mars. Nice to see you guys. Nice to see you, Tim.
So when that money runs out, we still have not replaced my ability to live. I've got Social Security, and I do some substitute teaching. My substitute teaching last year paid me $2,500 gross. You can't live on that. That's a year. So I've got to do something. I don't know what it's going to be. My wife has been sick the whole 9 years we've been together, one way or another, has not been able to work, and I do not blame her for that. Sometimes it makes a great deal of tension between us because it seems everything falls on me, and I'm almost 16 years older than her, so loads of fun.
Yeah,
But like I said, I'm out of Diet Pepsi, so I need to run. I don't need to
Nice
show you
seeing
my
you,
tiny
Moss.
whitey's running out the door.
Well, it was good seeing you, Moss.
Nice talking to
Nice to see you,
everyone.
Moss.
Jim, I will remember you next time, I promise.
All right, buddy.
Charles,
I'll
I'll
send
be a
you a
little
message.
quicker to remember you.
No worries.
I'll send you a message
See
about
Okay,
those
guys.
articles.
Sure thing.
And away he goes.
One
Hey,
day.
Tim, can I ask you a question? You said you're a developer or programmer.
Yeah.
Have you ever taught anybody any programming? And if you have, like, what was your approach and the age of people that you have taught?
I
programming?
did do some tutoring, so it wasn't like full on curriculum,
Mhm.
but I did when I was at a community college. I did use tutoring to assist the classes. I did that. as a part-time thing to make some money. I do enjoy teaching, and I think that's going to be like an off-ramp second career. If I ever get tired of programming, if I want to start teaching people, because it's an important skill to know how to be a technologist. I see all of these new programmers coming in, having AI available to them, and it's really super easy to have it answer the question for you, but needing to know why is it answering that question, especially because they're not perfect. But it's I want to be able to impart some of this knowledge I've gained over the years to others.
Got it.
What's
So
your
you're a
preferred
teacher.
language?
That was going to be my next question. Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time with C#, but I've also been spending a lot of time with Python as well. Wrapping my head around when I made the app. So like when I was building the Thunderbolt settings module, that was something that took a long time to build. Because it wasn't just a matter of you have to know Python, you have to then know how GTK works, you need to know how the Cinnamon's infrastructure works, need to know how dbus works. I mean, knowing how to program in Linux is one thing, but knowing all the components you need to talk to is another. So I use Python, if I need to throw something together. It's not really just kind of like a throwaway project for the most part. I use C# at work though.
Where do you work?
At a local credit union.
So fintech.
Yes.
Yeah, fintech's fun, especially lately. I work production support, so mostly with Python for a large bank.
Gotcha.
Like Chase Large or like
Bank of America.
Oh, that's
one of the big five or something.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to say two things about video since we were just talking about it. Why is that funny?
I can't believe this shit.
No, it's two observations. Number one, you mentioned late night Linux. I listen to their podcast, but even though it's an audio only podcast, in one of the recent episodes, they said something that made it pretty clear that when they actually do the podcast, they can see each other. And I believe the reason for that is because it makes it a lot easier to know when someone stops talking and the next person talks. So if you can't see each other, you're more likely to be stepping on each other's words.
Yeah, you're right. And I think I've heard that too. I think they use Jitsi but it's only to see each other. Yeah, now I remember.
Yeah,
But
they
don't actually record for voice.
Eric also. Well, I guess I'm only on one podcast that currently does not have some type of video set up, so it's not all that bad as long as you're polite.
Yeah, you just have to leave more space. It's harder to interject.
Yeah,
I bet. And then the other on the editing a lot too. They,
right,
getting rid of where people will talk over each other and whatnot. I mean, because Resington does it for a living, so that's his thing. He's got all.
Yeah, he enjoys quality audio.
Yeah, and everything else.
Yeah, it's well produced.
It is,
no doubt. Then the other observation I was going to make was when Matt from the Linux Cast does his lugs, there could be up to 10, 15, whatever people there. One thing that's nice about Jitsi is assuming you have someone who's like a host, not a like we're a collective of people. So, but he's the host. So if you have one person controlling everything, the whole hand raising thing that's built into Jitsi is pretty cool. It keeps everyone, giving everyone a chance to speak. But you really need one clear leader, one clear host who's controlling that. And then it works well, so that you literally press a button, keyboard, or, a button, virtual button on your keyboard and raise your hand. It's built into Jitsi. So even though I don't like Jitsi's, cropping of the video that we're looking at, it does have that cool hand raising thing. But I don't think it's appropriate here. But it is cool if you're doing a more, open thing where just anybody could join and there's someone who's in control as a leader.
I've never been 100% comfortable with the fact that if you wanted to be on the show, you were going to have to join a platform. And I feel like I'm in the minority with this because I brought it up a couple times. Because Discord, I guess a lot of people use it, but is it really that widespread even among Linux users?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Oh yeah. I think unless you're one of these purists who refuses to use anything that's proprietary, or you recently just quit based on the recent news, everybody's on Discord. I can't imagine there's someone out there going, I would love to come on the Roundtable, but man, they're using Discord, so I'm out. Can't imagine that such a person.
No, I have
exists.
talked to a couple of people that were like, "Yeah, I'm not getting Discord. I don't need another application." Something crazy like that. But it wasn't something specifically against Discord. It was the fact that they didn't want another application.
Sure, that makes sense.
And I kind of want to talk to the purists too every night, because I don't really have that attitude, but I want to lean that way a lot, because I've always been more willing to learn something open source and deal with a few pain points, as long as I felt like I was not going against my ethics, and using something open source. And I feel like I'm kind of in the minority with that whole thing, so I would like to talk to other people that are like that, and I feel like they would be the kind of people that wouldn't.
Well, if you look at the chat on YouTube, Lemon Zest, who is pretty active on our Discord, just mentioned Fluxer, and Fluxer is open source.
Fluxer. Now, what is that?
It's a Discord alternative.
It is, really.
That's what I'm being told. It looks a lot like Discord, according to the picture here. Maybe not as polished, but on their page, fluxer.app, it looks pretty darn close.
That looks like Discord, dude.
Yeah.
You know what the difference is? Nobody uses it.
That's it. It's got nothing.
That's the difference, and that's what you get these alternate social media systems and stuff, and they're clones and they're functionally similar, but they're pointless because there's nobody on them. So Discord is what it is because they have the audience, and most people of a certain age or a certain proclivity for tech and gaming have it. So yes, I agree. Like I had to, the first time I started using it was simply because I wanted to be a part of a community that was using it. Like I wasn't like, I had to make that choice. Do I want to install this and use it? And it was a very long time ago, but it was still like a new thing at that point. Because Discord was pretty hardcore gamer focused and pretty much like exclusively gamer focused for a very long time. And now I feel like they do a lot to embrace just communities in general.
They do.
The only reason I got Discord was because, Leo was pushing for it specifically for mintCast.
Yeah, Discord is I was on Discord for 3 other communities that had nothing to do with computers or Linux before I joined. Got interested in Linux a couple years ago. So Discord, covers, as you said, video games, and it covers other ground too. There are other communities for other hobbies and activities that have nothing to do with this. So yeah, it's popular for a reason.
I know a lot of guys that started off with like tabletop RPGs, and then their group moved all over the country, and then they got onto Discord so that they could continue playing with each other. So
yeah, that's
I am
one
in
of
a
them.
couple of those rooms. I just don't join them anymore.
Yeah, I joined Discord for gaming for that same reason. There was a mod for Rise of Nations, and I was looking to help the mod creator out with some coding. Life happened, and ultimately I didn't. So apologies if you're listening, but I held on to it, and then realized, after listening to mintCast for a while, that you guys have got the server here, so I decided to join.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I really don't use Discord. I'm kind of one of those. At Bill was talking, I believe it was Bill, where it's just I was getting fatigued with of having all these different online accounts that I keep track of, and so I don't really use Discord for anything else.
Maybe it was Tony that was pushing for it, because he was the former owner. Or was it Bo? Bo was the former owner, and he passed it on to me. So maybe it was Bo that was pushing for Discord, because he already had a Discord room. I think it was Undercast or something like that.
As long as we don't have to upload our IDs, I'm happy. I'm happy staying here because I'm already here anyway.
Yeah,
and I'm also happy to not have to use Zoom, because I cannot stand Zoom.
That ain't gonna
and
happen.
Even the last one I was using with Zoom was Linux Saloon, and yeah, I can't stand Zoom. Like it was a necessary evil during the pandemic. And then I used it. I even had a pro account for a couple years, just because I don't know, it made some difference at that point. And then, I think it was the 45-minute time limit if you were hosting a session, something like that.
Yeah, if you didn't or paid version.
Yeah, and so
they switched to Discord, by the way.
But it is, yes, exactly, and it is so much better on Discord, in my opinion. It's just easier to deal with. There's better controls. It sounds better. It looks better. And for Zoom to not be the best, considering what a windfall they had in the pandemic, is just a sin, in my opinion. That company, and I know they're focused on different goals, but man, that platform has languished.
They've got
at
the
least
name.
On Linux.
They got the name, don't they? That it's one of those names
do.
like Kleenex and Hoover, and that it's the name you associate with that type of technology. And
that's true.
I think that and that alone is the reason for a lot of their success, honestly.
Yep.
Because you're right. I mean, it's not technically better, and it's not a better experience to use it. And if you don't pay for it, you only get 45 minutes, and you can't hardly make a show.
It also makes you feel like a second-class citizen, because their Linux client is so far behind the Windows and Mac client.
Yeah.
There are tons of features and quality of life fixes in those versions. I mean, the Linux version is literally I want to say 2 or 3 point, it's like a 5, and Windows is like version 8. You know what I mean? It's that far behind that they basically, their contempt for Linux is blatant, and I hate that. So, I mean, Discord is the same anywhere you use it, you know what I mean? And I at least appreciate that about it. So,
I agree. Fellas, I have to go. So, Tim, nice meeting you. Hope you come back.
Yeah.
And I'll catch you next time.
It's nice to have a developer's point of view.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sorry, do we
But
say
I agree.
Wanderings? Oh, sorry, Eric.
No, good. You're good.
Yeah, next show's Wanderings.
Is it? Okay.
Oh, and we have to ask Tim the obligatory as well.
What's your favorite text editor? He already answered what his favorite.
Oh no.
Text
Oh no.
editor.
Do you want to be a host?
Oh,
Oh,
I was.
don't do that to him. Jeez. We at least got him to come on here.
Oh, geez.
Right?
Yeah, you have no idea. I sat here looking at. I saw that everyone had joined the mintCast public, and I sat there for about 5 minutes. Getting anxious. Like, do I just like click the thing, join everybody, dive in? I'm glad I did.
It gets
I
easy.
sat
we
there
are too.
not right now.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
I find myself coming here every Saturday and catching up with all of you
Yeah.
and doing it enough, then maybe. But not right now.
Awesome.
Actually, and that's true. So that's a comfort level thing. But if you find yourself listening and feeling like you could have contributed something or had something you could have like enriched or whatever, and it matters enough, like, and the other thing is you don't ever have to turn your camera on. No one cares. Like if you want to just stay like that, I mean, it doesn't make any difference to me.
Doesn't irritate you to see that? See somebody not having their camera on?
Nope, not a bit.
Doesn't irritate you?
Not a bit. No, I mean, I did that for a long time. I never turned my camera on. I mean, until someone like literally was like, yeah, and this was predates. This was back in like the Big Daddy Linux days and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't that I was like apprehensive about like showing who I was or anything like that. It's just like, who the hell wants to see me?
Yeah,
that's the way I thought of it.
Yeah, and I honestly didn't know how this was going to go. To just hang out and talk with you guys and just hang out in this room. So that's why I didn't bother to try and get the video all set up and everything. So
yeah,
I decided to just join audio only this time.
Well, your audio
and let
sounds
this be a
pretty
lesson
good.
to. Yeah, exactly. Your audio already sounds good, which is great. But let this be a lesson to everyone out there who's apprehensive about joining. Like we say it all the time. Like we're happy to have people. We're not going to be critical. We're not going to, jump all over you.
But if you're the only one, you're going to get singled out.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, it's only polite to acknowledge that you exist. Right. I mean, it's not like we're going to be like, hey, let's all ignore the new person, which seems kind of a jerky thing to do, but maybe that's what they want. I don't know. Anywho.
But Eric, I do agree, that is with your wanting to contribute. That was another reason why I wanted to join is, so often when you guys like talk about the news or something that's going on, I sit there and be like, oh yes, there's I have, I do feel like I do have some comments maybe, about, the different topics you guys talk about. And that's kind of what made me want to get on and actually talk to you guys.
Yep. And I think that's a perfectly valid thing. I think mine was probably more contentious than that. But in the best possible way. I wasn't gonna like come on and call him an asshole. Like, yeah, no. I wanted to come on and just like, add to the point or like make a correct, a clarification type thing. Not be like, you're an idiot. It's now that I know him, I would call him an idiot. But like, I would never presume to do that ahead of time. No, we have fun, and that's the other thing is like, I honestly, with all of the medical stuff I deal with and like in my whole messy like history, like this is some of the most sort of like the best kind of like, especially guy friend kind of stuff. Like I have a lot of friends that are like parents of other children, like that kind of stuff, like just like people you associate with, like that kind of people, like acquaintances. But like to have just like guy friends to sit around and BS with, like that's really what this is about for me. So
it's not just that, but it's also the fact that I do have some other guy friends, but even my guy friends that are in tech don't necessarily want to sit around and talk about Linux or setting up a server or any of the things that I greatly enjoy. And so these are the guys that I get to talk to about the things that I have fun with.
Yeah. Yeah. After a lifetime of every time starting a conversation with someone and them going, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh,
like, okay, sorry.
Tell me all about it. I've been driving truck for going on 35 years, and well, as you can probably imagine, there's not a whole lot of opportunities to nerd out doing that.
Yeah.
And none of my, like you said, guy friends. First of all, most of my friends that are outside of this are, let's say, they wear red hats. Let's just say that.
And have an IQ of 4.
Hey, man.
And
the country we live in.
So there's that, and then so when I came on this show, it was the first time I was able to nerd out. What an experience! I can't even put it into. It was the first time I could
my laptop upgrade.
I could talk about this stuff to somebody who knew what the hell I was talking about, and it was a first to me. And I've been playing around with this stuff for a long time, and it was still that experience,
Ask questions, provide ideas on how to make improvements.
Oh, asking questions. Okay, so when you're not used to talking about something, and then people are all of a sudden asking you questions, like, in my case, imagine dealing with this stuff all these years, but never actually saying these words out loud.
Never having the formal training or the in-depth.
Well,
yeah.
I just got picked on all the time. My wife would be like, "Oh, let me guess, you're installing Linux again." Yes, maybe again. I'll just sit there and watch it like scroll by as it's, the old text-based installers, and she's like, "What is that? What are you even looking at?" She's like, "You don't really know what any of that is." I'm like, "Haha, you want to test me? Come here." So
some of it is. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up.
All right.
Going.
Well, you weren't quite finished yet, Bill.
Was I?
We interrupted you. Talking about asking questions.
Well, no, that is a thing that it was a weird experience, and I'm not sure if I'm describing it correctly. How it was when you've been playing with this stuff for so long, and then all of a sudden now you're talking about it to somebody who knows, these words that you just. Sorry about that. That you've never said out loud before, and nobody would know what they were if you did. And they're asking you questions. They're saying these words. That is a strange experience. It really is. Oh. And then you've got to spit your opinions, because I've also got opinions, and this is what brought Eric on the show. Was one of my ill-gotten opinions about one of these things. And whatever. So that was quite an experience.
I have a question for you, because last night during my other podcast, the Linux Lugcast, we were talking about that router that I had pointed out to you and you had purchased for $35, the one you keep in your truck. Yeah. So I was wondering how that was treating you and what you're using it for.
So mostly right now it is like an ad hoc sort of router. All it really does is pushes the the Chromecast signal from my phone to the Chromecast. That way they've got, because it won't accept being just connected to my phone's hotspot. It has to be, even though it's not actually considered connected to the internet, it has to be on some sort of network.
It has to have a routing table, and your phone doesn't really provide that.
Right. So that's mostly what I'm using it for right now. But I brought it in the house and connected it to use. I've needed a couple times for birthday parties and stuff like that. People wanted to play on their tablets, and I didn't want them connected to the. I don't want devices that I don't administer connected to my network. You know what I mean? So I brought that in and set up another, because I know I can set up VLANs and all that stuff with this Omada equipment, but I just haven't gotten into it. It was far too easy. Just grab that thing, bring it in the house, and spin it up. And I love it because it's OpenWRT, it basically runs on and it stays up to date, and I think it's fast, and it seems to have all the. It's got like a boiled down interface that's more suitable to like something you would buy in a store, and then it has the features that you would expect to see on a consumer device. But then you can get into if you want to get down into the Open WRT default controls, you can do that, and you can
Install
round in all of the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
that can do.
Yeah, that stuff can get really esoteric, like big time. Yeah,
it's hard to believe that this little thing would even support all the crap that OpenWRT will do. But
it's all about the software, though. I mean, because the radios are radio. If the radio, if you can transmit and receive, like, it basically comes down to, is it powerful enough? But you're right, though, because if you don't slim it down and just make it the things you absolutely need to do, it's a quagmire. It's ridiculous. So networking is one of those like black magic wizardry kind of things. It
is still magic. Yeah. And I have to believe that a lot of that is because a lot of it's on purpose, because as long as we stay on IP version 4, we can sell people all these technologies and charge people for static IP addresses and all that stuff. All this stuff that you got to put into place to make it work as good as IP6 is always like another layer on top of it. And I feel like we could probably simplify things with IP6, but I don't see it ever happening, because then
I think it's IP6 is in use where it needs to be by the people who care enough to use it, and honestly, more and more routers and stuff are coming with it enabled, which is, even though they've supported it for a long time, usually it's disabled, or it had been. Now you're seeing it on more and more. So I think it's hell, it took us 25 years to come to Wayland, and here we are, like, finally pushing to it, even though it's been the better solution for a very long time, and simply because people don't want to give up X, because it's the devil, you know what I mean? And so 6 is just different enough that you have to rethink and change the way you think about networking to some degree. And so I think it just I think most people are happy to keep using what works. And there's an endless array of workarounds, and like, let's think of the hardest way to do to not do the thing we should.
These are services that we can charge people to do for them.
Well, that's to some degree
IPs,
that's true.
And dynamic DNS and all that stuff,
But the need for a static IP would be the same. I mean, that's just that just means it's doesn't change. That really doesn't. That's not going to be any different.
You wouldn't have near the need for DHCP though with IP6. You wouldn't have to worry about it as much, would you?
Yeah.
Or am I completely off with that?
No, I mean, I think that, as far as I know, and honestly, that tells you something, being in IT for as long as I was, and we never even considered 6, because we just didn't need to.
Nobody really has. I mean, the only point of IPv6 over IPv4 is that IPv6 is going to be, IPv4 is going to eventually run out of IP addresses.
So they've been saying for 35 years or whatever. But,
exactly. And once it does,
I feel like if we haven't yet,
yeah.
I wonder,
because with all of the VLANs and subnetting and but that's the way we've gone around it, right? That we still have the same scarcity. It's just that we keep changing how we slice up networks, and basically just keep subnetting and doing all that stuff that by rights works perfectly fine, and it just makes it very opaque in some cases to figure out, like, hops and different, like, how did this get from me to that place, and so
Mark is asking in the comments, what is the throughput on that router? I've not done any benchmarking on it whatsoever. It is considered a travel router.
It's a 1200, so, and it's got 2 ports that are both 1 gig. So one's a WAN, one's a LAN. So yeah.
What brand is that mini router?
What is it?
GLINet.
Oh, okay.
GLINet tends to come with OpenWRT built in, which is why all of my portable routers it's easier to buy it from them.
You can even drop to a command line with it. It's
that's
Yep.
I actually, as a project, I had decos, and the IPv6 on my decos, it wouldn't play well with Windows, to the point where it was just I'd be sitting there and all of a sudden web pages would start to behave funny, or I have some apps that would behave funny because they would try to do IPv6, and it was just there was a weird quirk interacting between the decos and Windows. This is back before I made the switch, and ultimately I ended up buying a little ARM single board computer, kind of like that travel router. It's 2 gigabits. It's WAN and LAN, and I just put the OpenWRT on it, and voila, everything works perfectly. Now I've got it set up to hijack all the DNS and all the DNS for the house, run it through a filter list to do malware blocking.
Like a pie hole kind of thing.
Yeah, like a pie hole, but without the pie hole, I just have it as my router. So I got that. I call it the black box. So I've got it sitting. I got it sitting between my cable modem and my decos. My decos are now just running in access point mode.
So it's acting as your DNS sinkhole.
Yes.
Cool.
I've got Pi-hole running, but I can't run everything to it. I have to be selective because my wife, if my
family unapproved,
if it would get in the way of her silly little games she plays on her phone.
Yep.
And that's not acceptable behavior.
Yeah.
That would be. Well, those games are getting better about if you block ads, they won't work. Like, it used to be that most of them didn't care. They would just run, or skip the ads altogether. And I was trying to show my daughter this app where it's basically like a local DNS sinkhole on an Android. And I noticed that most of the games now are, they won't work if they don't have an internet connection where they can serve ads.
Now you can allow
list
this
work
stuff
until they can't serve an ad.
Yeah, you could sit and allow list this stuff, but you would be sitting there all day long.
Yep.
Because every single game has got something else. Oh, actually, it's got one LAN port or one WAN port and 2 LAN ports on it, so you could actually.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah, you could daisy chain this thing.
That's cool. All right, I gotta go.
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me 3.
All right. Thanks again, Tim.
All right, guys.
Appreciate everybody in the stream. We will see you next week.